Hello. Today I will be doing a presentation on effectively communicating with your family and what that all entails. So here we have instrumental and effective communication, which are the two forms of communication within a family. Instrumental communication is the factual communication, fulfills the family function. So some examples would be telling your kids what time you're going to pick them up after school, what plans you have during the week as far as like dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, things like that. Or maybe telling your significant other the grocery list and they need to stop and get that on the way home. Things kind of like that. Effective communication is how families share their emotions. For example, parents saying, I love you to the kids before bed or basically anytime, really. Or kids coming home from school talking about their day, how that went, things like that. And some characteristics of a healthy family that communicates well with effective communication would be they're always positive, trying to be positive, actively listening to each other, or also speaking directly instead of trying to get around things. For example, saying maybe the dad comes home and says, I'm disappointed when people don't do their chores that they're asked to do. Instead, maybe you could say straight to the kid, it's disappointing um, that you didn't do the chore. Um, you didn't take out the trash when I asked you, kind of speaking directly instead of indirectly. So there's less confusion, I guess. Um, Healthy families are usually able to communicate well in both areas. That's not saying it's not a healthy family if they can't communicate well in both areas. It's just that typically families that communicate well in both areas are happier and yeah. Next, we have family conflict and conformity orientation. So pluralistic is um, high in conversation orientation and low in conformity. So that means they're very open to discussion and it is encouraged. Parents don't control each other or control the kids. They don't make decisions uh, just based off themselves. They think for the whole family. Um, they value life lessons learned from non-family members, so friends or teachers or anything like that. And they also want like self-exploration, kind of learning on your own. Um, and then consensual is lots of conversations with high conformity. So, for example, that would be um, they encourage communication, but want to establish that parents are in control. What they say goes. Um, but this could cause a lot of tension between family members. Either the parents, one wants more control than the others, or tension between the parents and kids. The kids feel like the parents are too strict and maybe they won't listen. Um, but I think a mix of both of those is um, good for family communication because um, it's good to have lots of conversations, but maybe not all conformity just to one parent. Maybe, um, for example, the parents could give advice to the kids and say, um, and not force them to take that advice and use that, but maybe give them the choice. So then later, make the kid become more independent, and they might respect their parent more in that way. Next, we have different interaction rituals between a family. So families participate in family-oriented events such as birthday parties, family dinners, and holidays. There are three different ritual types. There's a pattern family interactions, family traditions, and family celebrations. So the pattern family interactions are most frequent and not very formal. So these are things like dinner time and what you do during that, bedtime, different leisure activities, kind of like what your hobbies would be, things like that. And or maybe like your routine for having guests over, clean up the house, make it look nice. So that's your patterned family interactions. Family traditions is more formal and less frequent than the pattern family interactions. Um, Traditions usually vary from family to family. They're not all standardized or the same, kind of. So different family traditions would be things like road trips, um, or what you do on those road trips as far as like the license plate game or the alphabet game, things like that. There's different things that your family does um, in different activities. Um, and then family celebrations are also formal, but are usually more standardized between families. And that could be either like culturally or regionally, things like that. Um, some examples are like graduations and graduation parties, or weddings, or holiday celebrations, where it's all kind of like under a main idea, I suppose. And I think it's important for families to participate in family interaction rituals because the conversations tend to be filled with happy and feel good emotions when people are most comfortable and around the people that they are most comfortable with. And yeah, that would be it.